What is a life hack that seems fake, but is a true lifesaver? Every male should know this. If you want to get rid of an awkward boner, flex any muscle in your body, maybe an arm. For a minute, the blood will rush to that muscle and away from your D. Crisis averted. Use shaving cream as anti-fog. I used it on the inside of my motorcycle visor. Smear it on, let it dry, then rinse off and dry. It also works for bathroom mirrors. You can use it on a small spot, so you can still see when you get out of the shower. I saw a comment on one of these kinda threads that recommended gently rocking back and forth while pooping. I've never had any problems in the bathroom, but I happened to be sitting on the toilet when I read the comment, so I decided to give it a test drive. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick and effortless the whole experience was, and I haven't gone back to my old stationary technique since. As a bonus, #1 and #2 now require the same amount of time in the bathroom. If you have funky armpits and need to fix them fast, use hand sanitizer. I figured this out years ago when I remembered that the smell comes from bacteria reactions, which antibacterial hand gel kills stone dead. Instant results, and the medical smell lasts only a minute. Don't do this routinely though, as it's delicate skin. True lifesaver. If you are ever attacked by a dog, push your forearm into the bite. This pries the jaws apart and prevents them from clamping down. If a dog is attacking you, the best thing you can do is offer your forearm, push as far back as possible, and then grab the dog by the scruff of its neck with your other hand to hold it. The dog is now functionally muzzled, and you have control of its head. The sooner and harder you push into the bite, the less damage the bite will do. This works for cats too, especially when they have you in the death hug. When cats kill their prey, they sometimes use their front limbs to pull the prey towards their belly, and their back feet/claws to scratch and disembowel it. It's instinctual, but cats can be taught not to do it to humans. If you've ever seen someone try to give a cat a belly rub, only to be attacked, this instinct is part of it, as well as a defense against attackers. If a cat isn't trained to not attack your arm, or they are trained but end up locked on, the worst thing to do is pull your arm away, like you'd naturally try to do. Prey animals will try to run, so that pulling motion on the cat's limbs mimic prey, and the cat will pull you tighter to its stomach and bite harder. Instead, do this. Push your arm in quickly towards the cat's jaws, like a quick pulse, sort of, not a slow steady pressure. This will both keep it from chomping down on you and startle it. Use your other hand to push the cat's head back. Bonus points if you can cover their eyes. Suddenly your arm is no longer prey, but predator, and the goal is now escape instead of kill. Make as high-pitched yelp as you can, like the most embarrassingly loud squeak possible. This is especially important if you're training a cat or kitten, because that loud yelp is not only startling, but indicates this playtime is too rough now, and you need to stop. Kittens naturally do this squeak when their play with siblings gets too rough, and the cat learns what level of force is okay for it. After you're free, ignore the cat completely. Don't look at it, don't talk to it, nothing. Act as if it isn't there at all. The ultimate silent treatment. This reinforces that they were too rough, and playtime is over. Ignore it for at least 5 minutes. The squeak and ignore can be used on kittens anytime they're rough, and as soon as they stop, give a command. My older cat knows soft paws or hey, soft, as commands to retract her claws and be more gentle with me. Taught her as a kitten, and it's a blessing. Rubbing vegetable oil, or any cooking oil, on your hands after you cut up jalapenos or other hot peppers. It gets rid of the awfulness that would normally be left on your hands from the peppers. I rub my hands with oil and then wash it off with dish soap. I can totally remove my contacts after doing this. It's crazy how well this works. Put your onion in the freezer for 10 minutes before chopping it. It freezes the juices just enough to slow down the process of it turning into a gas, giving you a few minutes to chop the onion without tears. I learned this tip from a kids science show years ago, and I haven't had to deal with onion tears since. So many people don't believe me, and then are genuinely surprised when it works. The cheapest, most effective, and safest insecticide against roaches, especially those huge water bug roaches that we have in the south, is a spray bottle of mostly water with just a little liquid dish soap in it. Shake the bottle and get the water a little foamy, then spray the roaches. They will run, scrabble, and attempt to escape, of course, but they will die. The soap film suffocates them faster than any chemicals will. A friend told me about this, and I thought she was nuts, but I tried it and it works amazingly well. Plus it's very easy to clean up, and safe around food. Not that you want to spray soapy water on your food. Run your wrists under cold water or rub an ice cube on your pulse points, to cool down all over quickly, when you get overheated. It seems obvious, but I didn't realize it until last summer working in a warehouse with no AC. Also something I learned in the army on extremely hot days on the range. If you need to cool yourself immediately, dunk your arms about halfway between your elbow and shoulder in ice water. Probably will need a bucket or cooler. For about 20 to 30 seconds. Then lift your arms over your head straight up, and you'll literally feel your body completely cool from top to bottom. As it moves down. If you're working outside, and it's very hot, just have it ready just in case. It's required by the army once it gets hot enough to have sheets in ice water, to cool anyone, that becomes a heat casualty, so it makes sense, if you're out mowing your yard, or doing work when it's hot. Eating candied ginger helps with nausea. Any ginger really, but candied ginger is much better tasting. Edit. I see this really got people talking. Glad to see other remedies are helping, and the community giving each other tips. Thanks for the award, and be excellent to each other. Second edit. Chronic nausea is a different animal and I hope those suffering with it get medical help. Ginger isn't a cure for all nausea, and lots of things can cause it, such as vertigo, which is an obnoxious thing to have, and ginger won't help. I have that, and it's no fun. I use ginger for migraine nausea myself, which I also get. During pollen season, rinse your hair before bed. Otherwise you're just depositing pollen on your pillowcase every night, and then rolling your face in it all night. And then multiply that by how many nights you use the same pillowcase. Counting really slowly with the goal of reaching 150 is a decent way to fall asleep. If you have any thoughts during it, just let them play out, and if you forget what number you're on, just go from what you last remember. If you make any major movements, just start again. The goal is to force your brain into slowing down and not having any jerky motions or thoughts, and eventually reaching such a level of carelessness that you eventually fall asleep without realizing. Helped me quite a few times, especially with rain sounds. Hope it helps some of you too. If your car is overheating, turn your heat on full blast. When you turn the heat on in a car, it pulls heat from the engine into the cab, thus cooling the engine. I was taught this in driver's ed 23 years ago. When in high school my buddy's car would run really hot, I told him to turn the heat on. He wouldn't. I had to convince him it was true by saying I would pay for resulting damage if the temp didn't go down. It was the winter time, and that heat was so dang hot we had to roll the windows down. But we watched his engine temp drop. I don't believe it's especially uncommon, but if no one ever told you, it would seem counterintuitive. Macup remover on deodorant stains. Vixella randomly brought it up while talking to chat on Twitch. My husband has a lot of t-shirts with white/stained armpits, so I gave it a shot. It worked. Oh. Edit. I should probably clarify that I used remover wipes, just a generic store brand pack of cleansing towelettes, on my husband's old antiperspirant stained t-shirts from his bachelor days. He switched to a non-staining deodorant a while back. There are a lot of other helpful hacks for this issue added in replies. I'll have to try denim or dryer sheets next time I find a stain to try it on. Mosquitoes bites be gone. This hack is the most valuable thing I've learned in my whole life. Heat the back of a spoon with hot water, then apply the back of the spoon to the bite. I usually do it twice for good measure. The spoon needs to be hot enough to keep on the skin without burning yourself. So test the heat before you press it down. Keep it on until the heat dissipates. Bite will stop itching almost immediately. Usually the bite has completely disappeared within an hour. This only works with mosquitoes from my experience. If you've got a splinter below your skin surface, wrap a banana peel around it. Wet side against your skin. It will draw the splinter out most of the time. I don't know how, but it frickin' works. Banana voodoo. Banavadoo. Banadoo. If you start to cough while eating or drinking, essentially the went down the wrong pipe, immediately lift both your arms up in the air and keep them held up for a few seconds. The act opens your airways and will allow you to catch your breath. Also helps food or drink travel downward. My mill taught us this, and it's now second nature. Edit change choke to cough. The Heimlich maneuver should be used if someone has food stuck